You're a mystery. I know I cannot ask you about your character a lot because you're not going to tell me.
We are on the cusp of crafting a new kind of power.
First, I have to tell you that I'm so happy to see you so happy. Are you aware of how big this is? Like how magical this is?
It's hard because we have a warped perspective, so it's really big for us because it's all we see every day at the moment.
Yeah.
But it's like if I was just a general dude just walking down the street, would I even know about it? I don't know. It's like I can't put it into perspective yet.
Yeah, we've never been in something like this, so there's nothing to like. I can't compare it to anything else I've been in, or no, I don't know. We're just nervous and afraid, but also excited.
But it's amazing, in the first 2 episodes, you've done everything, like diving and running and fighting and killing and doing this and that. How difficult or easy is it for you to work in these 2 types of scenarios? So abstract, because maybe when you auditioned, you don't know what you were doing. But when the sets were built, everything you can touch and look and smell.
Yeah, auditioning, we did have little information, which kind of now looking back, I'm quite glad I didn't know I was auditioning for Galadriel because I think I would have found it a bit too frightening. Because everybody auditioned with a limited amount of information. And then we all kind of dove straight into New Zealand, not knowing anything, which I think then also bonded us because we were all like, we've just done something quite crazy. And then, suddenly you have it all there in front of you. Yeah. And that is amazing. I feel so grateful for how little I had to use my imagination to a degree, because it was all there. And I think particularly having creature actors in prosthetics playing the orcs opposite you was something that was truly amazing.
Yeah.
And also I was really grateful for that because I think that's one of the reasons that the films are so timeless, is because they use so many practical effects. And that's something I was always quite obsessed about with the films. So that we got to do that was like a proper geek out for me.
It makes a big difference when you jump from rehearsing in a studio or like I think we rehearsed one day in like a school classroom, and it was a raft for that raft scene, and there was just tape on the ground, which we couldn't step outside of because then we'd be in the water. And we were in like our tracksuit pants and sandals. And then, so it's hard there to generate that, particularly when you're saying really epic lines. And then you step on set and it's completely different. Once you're in the context, it's such a help as an actor. It's a gift.
I want to still talk about how surreal this is, because I guess you were fans of the books and the movies after that. Thinking about Galadriel, Kate Blanchett, narrating, being the narrator of the story when the movie starts, and now it's your voice. What can you think about the movies or the books? Who were you watching the movies with? Who were you reading the books with?
Well, my dad read The Hobbit to me, and so that's like a really lovely memory of my childhood to me. And then both my parents were really excited about the films coming out. And so that was also quite a nice moment, like seeing your parents kind of geeking out about something, getting really excited. And then the films were a big part of like my friendship group. We used to go over to one of my friends' houses and we'd watch all of them, and my friends still do that. Middle-earth has been a respite to me for lots of my life, and the idea that it could be that for other people it's just a huge honor. I feel very privileged to be able to kind of be any sort of part of that.
To be honest, I was familiar with Tolkien and I was a fan when I was cast in the show, but I didn't really know much beyond that. I mean, I'd seen the films probably a couple of times each, and I played the PlayStation games, but I just thought Lord of the Rings was really cool. And it didn't really have any meaning to me beyond that. But obviously that all completely changed when I started working on the show. Just dove into it and tried to absorb as much as I could from any form of media. And now I'm a massive fan.
I love what your characters represent, but because for you we have this like legacy and we know things and we will learn a lot. And for you, nothing.
Yeah.
You're a mystery. I know I cannot ask you about your character a lot because you're not going to tell me.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit.
Okay. How was that experience for you, like exchanging those different experiences?
Yeah, I really like what you pointed out there, because we spoke about that, and that like Galadriel is like a celebrity of Middle-earth, you could say. Like, everybody knows who she is. She's been around for a long, long time. And Halbrand is the opposite. He's
tough, harsh on him, but yeah, he's not famous.
She's so known, and he is kind of.
Yeah, I think it creates an interesting dynamic when they meet and part of their journey, because if he does know who she is, he doesn't want to let her know that he knows, because it's a power play at the start of their relationship. But I think it also presents different challenges for us as actors. You have different expectations. You have different challenges and privileges being a canon character and a non-canon character.
Oh, I wasn't meaning it like that. I see why you thought it was harsh. I just meant like Halbrand, like he's at sea.
Oh no, I meant I knew you meant in the context of Halbrand is not a famous character. No, I knew you meant in the context of the show. Like, he wouldn't walk down the street in the Southlands.
Yeah, that would be like,
that's Halbrand.
Yeah.
Whereas they would be like, that's Galadriel.
Yeah. They would.
I understood you.
Down the pub though, Halbrand would be very famous.
Maybe.
Have you fantasized with talking to Tolkien, like asking something about your character or about this universe that he created?
I'd be quite obsessed to talk to him about Welsh, because I speak Welsh, and I feel that, like, because of what we know Tolkien to have been, he probably knows more about Welsh than me. And I could probably learn something from him about my own language. And I think that's why he was so incredible. He was unbelievably knowledgeable about so many things, and why Galadriel had to suffer so much and lose so many people.
Yeah, I think I'd ask him about something in the Silmarillion, or something about the development of his story. I think I'd ask him about how he develops his worlds and why he published so many contradictions and iterations of drafts, and what it was like for him to publish something and then a few years later actually be like, well, hang on, no, I've changed my mind. Now it's like I've progressed it, which I think is a really amazing thing. But how that was for him as a writer to sort of write over the top of himself over and over again.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So happy to be here.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
Cheers.
You are Lord.